And I would like, just checking for any last minute donations in the bid war, and it looks like English is the winner with $15.
Excellent. So, English is the winner.
Yep.
Hi. I'll do my very brief intro here. I'm seriously Shirley. I run this game. We're going to be playing a normal mode. I play on what is called any percent. So there's a slight variation between any percent and any percent with manip. I have literally just opened the game. And that just means that there's no chance for me to level up in the first fight. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. But yeah. I am ready with time, and we'll get going here in 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion. It is a remake of a PSP game. We play as Zach Fair, this handsome individual here. We are going to do a tutorial mission. It's going to be fine. We're going to use Firaga. We're not going to see Firaga for the rest of the game, so enjoy it while it lasts. And then we're going to go straight into kind of an intro to our first boss fight. So it's a very, very, very story-heavy game, and we are very happy that we have access to skipping the cutscenes. So, like I said, this is a remake of an old PSP game. So we may or may not have already had a bit of a route in place, but the old game took somewhere around 3.5 to 4 hours to beat, and you see the estimate here is closer to, I don't know, an hour and a half. So that's an interesting first thing. All right. So, Behemoth down. That was our first boss fight. We are going to skip over the white-haired individual that we'll meet later. We'll talk about that villain from Kingdom Hearts in a bit. But this is, like I said, kind of a prequel to Final Fantasy VII. So we're going to be meeting a pile of characters that we already kind of know, but we're kind of being introduced to for the first time in this game. So it's a little odd. But Shinra's the good guys. And are part of the soldier group within Shinra. And it is our job to go take missions to make everybody safe. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get introduced to the mission system here. No. Buttons. This. There we go. Okay. Now that we found the right buttons, we are moving on. So we're being introduced to the mission system. Our first mission is to do some training with some Shinra soldiers. These aren't like soldiers with a capital S. These are soldiers with like a lowercase s. So Zack is kind of part of the soldier group of the second generation, give or take-ish. I don't know my lore that well. Surprising, I know. I'm a speedrunner and I don't know the lore. But we basically want to be a hero. And that's Zach's kind of whole thing. And he's got a wonderful mentor named Angeal, and we'll meet him in a little bit. But here we're just kind of getting introduced to what equipment is and what everything does. And like it's, as you would expect, a tutorial. So, like every good tutorial and like every good RPG, there is asinine things to do to get hidden items. This is one of those. I need to talk to this crate 20 times. And that's going to give me a very good item. And that very good item is called a cursed ring. Yes, I'm going to put on a cursed ring intentionally. It's going to give me a boost to all of my stats by 10. And that's very important, simply because my stats are very low. You see, I just went from 19 to 29. Big percentages. Numbers. Stuff. All good. That was Angeal. We saw him. He's gonna look different later. Spoilers, but that's fine. We're gonna go invade Wutai. For those of you who are into the lore, Wutai might or might not be the homeland of a certain thief from later. I wouldn't know. I've never found her because that requires like random encounters somewhere, and yeah, I know nothing. However, her missions in this game are very cute and can highly recommend. Yeah, so we're invading this capital, I think. Again, the lore is not my strong suit, but we're gonna go fight a lot of Wutai soldiers, and we don't like Wutai soldiers. They have a couple moves that can make things very slow for us. Mostly, anytime we get interrupted in combat, we are going to, be slow. Anytime I'm not doing damage, I'm going slow. So, yeah, like that. Just got interrupted, and I'm going slow. So this whole fight is about trying to hit as many multiple target things as we can with every attack that we make. It's very hard to optimize, it's very hard to go fast, but we're going to do our best. And then we're going to end by, casting some spells. Should just be these last two. And then we can start casting spells. There we go. Alright. We have breached the castle gates, and we are into the stronghold proper. Don't mind us. We're gonna just make a little mini-game out of this. And, basically count the number of encounters we have in the upper left. It's fine. It's gamification of a, invasion of an enemy stronghold. It's fine. It's fine. There we got introduced to elemental weaknesses. That's important for later. I will explain probably never, but just know that elements are a thing and that they are important. And we're going to make use of them during Ifrit. And we'll get to Ifrit when we get to Ifrit. In the meantime, we're just going to go through these encounters. Most of these are pretty scripted. There is a little RNG here and there for what shows up. Like that last encounter I just did has a chance to be two different things. This encounter has a chance to do something a little goofy. When things move and how they move is all random. So there's a lot of management to the fights that we try to account for, but really we're reacting in real time to what's going on, which, makes the game fun. If everything was solved, it's a less enjoyable experience.
Conflict resolved. Got him.
There you go. Alright, so we're coming up on kind of our first boss. It'll be the twins. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, simply because... Oh, one got away. That's bad. Oh. There we go.
Conflict resolved.
Getting ahead of myself, simply because I need time to explain, and hopefully, if the twins fight goes well, it'll be done by the time this explanation ends. The early game of this is just... it flies. There's so much going on. It takes a little while to learn, but yeah. So the twins are our first boss fight. They're going to introduce the, rage mechanic, their special move countdown meter, whatever it is. And we need to empty that ASAP, otherwise we not only have to watch a cutscene, which is bad because it's slow. Those cutscenes tend to lead to evil damage. We don't like evil damage. So... we're going to do that, and then we're going to try to manipulate their AI a little bit to then stagger as I attack things from behind. So we saw it in the Behemoth fight, that I can stagger things. And if I attack from behind, I get criticals. which is a good thing. Do your thing. Oh. Alright, I did not get the easy manip for that. That's fine. I'm just gonna cast this a few times. We gotta do this fight a little bit slower. Bonk. Alright. Not bad. Not a bad fight. If we get that hit count, which is also a damage count, right, then we can get him staggered and we can sit behind like we did with the first one and just assault twister him to death. It's tricky to do, and it is a bit of a feeling thing because I can't do math that fast in my head. Not a thing.
Activating combat mode.
But we're coming up on our first like true boss fight, which will be Ifrit. And Ifrit is a monster. Ifrit is one of the most researched bosses in this run, and it's right away. So thanks for that, game. We love that. Not. But we're gonna try and do a very specific script, and if I get off script, I won't tell you.
Activating combat mode.
So far, so good.
Just real quick, I would like to find out that we do have a bonus game incentive for Viewfinder. We're a little over 2/3 of the way back, so you can also have some of your donations pitched for that as well.
Alright, messed it up a little bit at the end, but we got through most of it. Alright. Honestly, one of the hardest slow bosses done early. So we're good. We're good. Phew. So, let's talk about the world of Final Fantasy VII as a general entity a little bit. We are a soldier working for Shinra, and basically that means we're a capital S soldier, by the way. We've been infused with Mako in an attempt to make super soldiers, so we have the ability to be stronger, faster, and better than everybody else. The gist of it.
Yeah, it's up as high as I can go. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
See.
There you go.
So, basically, we're soldiers for hire, out making everything safe. And so one of our liaisons to being a super soldier, effectively, are these Turks folk.
Activating combat mode.
And so they're kind of our mission liaisons. Damn. Bad assassin. So, G assassins are similar to the Wutai we fought earlier.
Yes,
But-
we'll resolve conflicts with them.
Yes. Oh, yes. We will resolve every conflict after we initiate the conflicts. It's one of the joys of the speedrun is listening to that announcer do that over and over again. I forgot to put on Thunder. This fight's going to be very slow. That's fine. I'll put it on after.
Well, that was one of the elemental weaknesses you were mentioning earlier.
It is, in fact. And I picked up the Thunder from the canister just for this purpose. But we'll get through it. It's fine. It's not like I'm gonna die. Ha ha. I will definitely die at some point in this run. We run on a very bare bones thing. So I've neglected to explain it until now, and now's not a great time because we can't see it, we're not in combat. But up in the upper left is something we call the DMW.
Combat mode.
There it is. You can see it's, you know, hazed out. That's because of that cursed ring I put on. I wanted stats, not levels. Levels take
Let's
time,
see.
and stats don't. And stats make the fights go faster. So, stats. Not the math kind. So, basically, I am opting to be level 1, which in this game is level 6. It's the starting level. And we're not going to undo that until after Ifrit. So, in a bit, we've got a number of fights to get through yet. But the DMW is a lottery system. It spends SP, which I don't understand what that is, but it stands for something. You gain it from defeating things and existing in the world. Like, there's a whole mailing system. There's... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, that was very fast. Ow. Normally we can get away without getting smacked there, but things happen. Just means I'm hurt. Yeah, so the lottery system is basically our way and how we level. It's how our materia levels. It's how we get limit breaks. It's a very important system, and we just strictly turned it off. Wow. That's a bad spread. Down. Damn. And up, down. Not even down. Very rude.
Oh yeah!
So these early fights are pretty much all about optimizing how you approach them. Because again, like I said, there is like set spawn points, but their behaviors as soon as they spawn in are not fixed. So the gunner there could opt to gun me, could opt to spin me, I won't know. These guys could idle, they could attack, they could cast Blizzard, they could cast Fire. There's lots of different directions these fights can head. And we're just trying to manage them the best we can. Right. We're almost done here. Fortunately, this heli gunner without thunder is a bit of a pain. There we go. Okay. But we're gonna head into our first mini game. For those that didn't know, Crisis Core is a game full of games. Not only are there more missions than you could possibly ever desire, there are 10 mission segments. Within each mission segment is up to 6 subsegments, and within each subsegment there is up to 6 missions. It's a lot. There's a lot of content. We're not seeing most of it. We've already seen one of the missions. We're going to see 5 more before the run is done, but yeah, fractions. Fractions of what's available. However, there is also the standard must-play minigames. So the first one here is smack the tank shell out of the air with your sword. It's basically a baseball minigame if you play Persona. It's basically, or Yakuza, either, both. So if you want to read something, now's a great time as we smack tank shells out of the air.
All right, well, we do have a $10 donation from Hey Busy J, who says activating donation mode. Thank you very much for that. And he is donating toward the Head to Sword versus Stormblood Pig War. So that's got a little bit more competitive. And we have Blueware with a $100 donation who says bonus game hype. And thank you very much for that generous donation. And we're just a little bit closer to that bonus game of Viewfinder.
Much appreciated. Love to see big donos. We intentionally take the last hit there. There's a very minor reason for it, is we are skipping one text box right up here. That's it. That's the only reason we do it. It's not that much faster. It's not that much slower, for that matter. But that's the reason. Is we only hit 9 out of 10. Now we're gonna enter into Bahamut. Of all of the bosses, this is one of them, and this one hurts. Ow. I really screwed that one up. Alright. So, like I said, we're the base level. And so this is like a midway fight, right? We're 20 minutes in. We should have done quite a few other bosses by now. And other side missions and content and been like level 16. And we're not doing that. So, yeah, we're just gonna try to not die to these lightning bolts. If this fight goes well, we don't ever see that phase, but it happens, so we deal with it. This should be close. We might have to deal with one more up down. No, we got it. Alright.
Resolved.
Phew. Got through first try, no deaths, that's a win. Alright, hard chapter's done. Now we get to go into kind of the lackadaisical section. And I say that not actually meaning it, but we do get a small break here as we do some side missions. So I did allude earlier that we are going to do a couple. We're going to do 3 of them now. And that is to basically unlock a few of the important items that we want to use to take off this cursed ring. So the first one we're going to be grabbing is a power wrist. We're going to eventually, hopefully, be wearing 2 of them. But we'll see what happens. That might not drop. It's a thing that happens. But first up, we are going to this one then goes here. There we go. And the double confirmation. Yeah. So materia fusion is a thing, and we get to deal with it. It does allow us to get very overpowered very early, which is nice, I guess. It does make the run hum along quite nicely. However, it does provide a lot of menuing grief. For those that speedrun RPGs, you can feel the pain of menus. But our first mission is going to be pretty easy. Our second mission will be fine, typically. And then our third mission has a potential to be very deadly. So the missions are ranked in a star order. And so we're starting with a level 2 mission, 2-star. Intended for, 1-star missions are basically level 1. 2-star missions are basically better. And then they go up to 10 stars, and we don't like to talk about those. I forgot to put on... The Thunders. I need to put on Thunder. Remind me to put on Thunder. We're gonna definitely, wholeheartedly need it. I'm getting away because I have Thunder Blade right now, but standard Thunder would be very nice.
If you want me to remind you after the fight, just let me know.
I'm saying it to also remind myself. But yes.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
We'll be fighting a decent number of robots here. Yeah. So having both Thunder and Thunder Blade are going to be very useful. So we'll go into normal menu as opposed to mission menu, and we'll just undo this. Thunder. Thank you. Missions. Back we go.
I'm this on.
Oh.
Good.
Yes. So you've kind of seen us run kind of along the sides here. There are random encounters in this game, not that you would know so far. But they do exist. They are mean. We just run against the wall to not get them. It's as simple as that. Most of the time it works, not always.
VII.
We
Oh yeah.
we sometimes get them even though we're pushing our face against the wall. We'll talk about that when it becomes more relevant. But most of the early game, it's very kind, and the hitbox for the encounters is not there. All right, last mission. It looks like a 3-star. It is, in fact, a 3-star mission. Let me remind you, we're level 1. We don't really have stats. We put on plus 10 magic for the earrings that we picked up, and we have plus 10 to every stat because of the curse ring. That's it. That's all we got going for us. No extra health, no extra MP, no extra AP.
Activating combat mode.
So, Squish City. And this thing hurts, to put it lightly. You know what you're doing. That. Thank you. One more of these in. Dodge that. So, flying machines can do 3 things. They can shoot you. They can spin at you, which is the very dangerous one. Or they can fly around. And that was ridiculously clean. Very good RNG from that boss. Very happy. But now, we have hot new equipment. I want power attack. Power attack. Thank you. Come in here. We're going to sell off some elixirs. It's not a Final Fantasy game unless we sell off elixirs. And we're going to grab some somas. Somas restore AP, for those unfamiliar. AP is what's allowing me to do all of the weapon abilities.
Activating combat mode.
So, the Shinra headquarters here has been attacked. That's bad, I think. Maybe it would have been good if it fell. I don't know. Conspiracy theorists unite and, decide if Shinra had fallen at this point, would it have been a good thing or a bad thing?
Activating combat mode.
We're being attacked by some evil big bad. I think his name's Genesis. Not on the nose for anything whatsoever for being a first wave Shinra soldier. And yeah, we have taken off the cursed ring, so we are now privy to all of the joys of the slot system. Need to kill this. Please die. I can get over here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. This is one of those fights that can just go very wrong very quickly. We are getting our first levels ever right now. And so if we don't manage, especially these sweepers well, we can just get stun locked and die. Hence why we use a lot of Thunderblades in here. Not only are they weak to it, they stagger to it. It's very good. It's very, very good. Alright, through there, we are headed into kind of our first interaction with a clone of the big bad, of the thing that might or might not be precipitating the events. Again, my lore is very hazy.
There was a lot of it in Final Fantasy.
There's a lot of it. Like, we've got one Mad Doctor running around, but that's not the Mad Doctor from 7, but we do see the Mad Doctor from 7. Yeah, we don't ask too many questions here. So this is G-Racer. Like I said, may or may not be a clone. I'm gonna get smacked by this. Yep, that might be my first death. Yeah, there it is. Knew it was gonna happen. It's fine. We just restart from the start of the fights.
Activating combat mode.
It's not a big deal. Nope. Go away. That's gonna hurt. Yep. He should be going into... Yep. A lot of these things are predictable, but they aren't consistent. So we hope for things to happen, but yeah. Yeah. Like that first fight was a great example. You can see it coming. Can't always prevent it. That's Cisne. That is potential on option, I guess. It's confusing. Zach's life is confusing. But this is a big giant menu, so I'm going to concentrate here. If you would like to read a blurb or chat, feel free.
I'm just checking if we got any donations, but yeah, chat. We are mentioning we're playing slots now, baby. Now, what does that involve? Because I saw like the little slot machine in the top left corner. How relevant is that to the run?
Fairly important. So that's how our like materia levels. That's how we level as Zach. There are hidden mechanics behind that, but we can't really influence them. So it's important, but I can't control it. So it's pure RNG, just like slots, which gives everybody the warm fuzzies.
Okay. And I would like to remind everybody that all weekend long, your donations to Trans Lifeline can get you entered to win prizes donated by members of the Fastest First community, including badges, coasters, walking dog records, music collections, and of course, our grand prize bundle of a Nintendo Switch OLED and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Use the command !donate in chat to make a donation and the command !prizes to see all of the prizes available during the marathon.
All right, so I do see the question in chat. With the cursed ring on, yes, we are still technically earning XP. Hence why we leveled very quickly in that first fight we had it off. But it is a hidden stat, so we know that it's there, and it's trying to catch us up, because the game has kind of an internal ticker for, all right, we expect you to be level 13 here. We expect you to be level 20 here. And if you're behind, it'll try to force it in your favor, but it's still left up to RNG. So we might not get certain things. We're hoping to end the run somewhere on level like 22. We're hoping for high jump to get materia levels. These things might not happen. We hope they do. They average out to pretty often happening, but we have no control. But it is actually how the manip works for the manipulated category. Is you go and you store a bunch of experience, which then doesn't care about what save it was in. It only cares that it's in the buffer. So then if you start a new game after gaining a bunch of experience without leveling, you can hit level 7 in the behemoth fight before we put the cursed ring on, which is then the manipulation.
Activating combat mode.
And surprisingly, that one level kinda matters. I dodged that. Rude.
Activating
So much like this section here, where these enemies are just kind of doing their thing, it's all RNG. They can idle, they can jump, they can cast spells, they can smack me, they can do whatever they want. And all I have to do is react to it. So there are much better patterns than others. We love the wait and then do something, because that then lets us flee, almost always. Yeah. We just briefly saw a white-haired protagonist. Is a protagonist in this game. We'll see more about him later, and we'll talk about how his story arc intersects with Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
combat mode.
Yeah. But this is a crazy scientist in a white lab coat. It seems to be a theme for Final Fantasy VII,
Activating combat
just
mode.
generally. But we're going to chase him through hallways. We're going to chase him most of the game. He's very fast and fleet for an old guy in a lab coat. Like, seriously, there he is panting. And then he just hoofs it. Reminder, we are a Earth Essence, or whatever you want to consider it, enhanced super soldier. And we cannot catch this guy in a dead sprint. So, Good
The
on it.
lab coat does, create some drag, so, it's probably got a lot of training from that.
There you go. I like that. Good explanation.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Buffeted by the gales of lab coat. All right, we have just received my favorite materia, jump. We are now everybody's favorite class, Dragoon. I will take no arguments. Blizzard. No. This. Thunder. If we do the melds wrong, things go poorly. Don't do the melds wrong. Cool. So, we put on jump. We attached that to one of our Libra materia. Libra materia are providing us attack boosts. So most of this route is based around increasing our attack basically as big as possible. There it is. I want this one. Thank you. Yes, thank you for your contribution, Angeal. It would only be helpful if you actually showed up. Trying to make use of the weakness on this guy to get him off the board. And then we're going to suck down another Soma and start jumping. Rude. Yes, thank you. Wow, we're getting all of the cutscenes today. Usually we only get like one in this fight. But they're deciding to give me both the cutscene and not the DMW. So the DMW is what I'm using right now. As Zach feels different things, and he has many feelings, and feels a way towards a certain character, you get to use their limit break. And certain limit breaks are usable and others are not. Angeal, we love. Angeal is gorgeous. Sephiroth, that white-haired protagonist, we love. Because both of those are multi-hit. And multi-hit is very good. It's very, very good. Here we meet Flower Girl. We may or may not have caused some destruction to the roof of this church. That has no bearing in the story. Don't worry about it. This Aerith character has no bearing in the story. She is a potential love interest for Zack. That's it. They correspond. They text for a while. It's very cute.
Oh, though I doubt we ever see her again in any other Final Fantasy game.
No,
Activating
of course
combat
not.
mode.
Of course not. So we get to see one of the big advantages of jump here is my ability to, well, be in the air and not get hit. Trying not to heal during this fight. There we go. We're good.
Conflict resolved.
It's very, very silly to attempt to not heal there. We are still behind in levels. We still have not increased our health in any meaningful way. So we are still very, very squishy. We are going to take a Libra, and we are going to take... Where are my notes? There they are. Assault Twister. That one. And we are going to make high jump. The jump was good. High jump is better. So we're just going to use that instead now. And we are going to go do another 3-star mission. So we talked about the first 3-star mission. This is another one. We are a little more powerful now. But we saw a Guard Scorpion earlier. Again, enemies that have no bearing in the future whatsoever. But this one is big and angry at the end of a hallway. It hurts. It has something that's called a super EM field. And we're gonna try not to see it, but if we do and we hit it, that's bad news bears for us. Wow, all of the DMW screens. This is uncanny in number. He's gonna web us soon? Oh no, we just get 3. Nice. That's very good. Just kill him before the Super EM field goes off. That's great. It's wonderful.
Right, nice job.
Yeah. So that gave us a 3rd accessory slot, and I didn't look to see, but I'm hoping, yeah, that we have an extra power wrist. Otherwise, we put that cursed ring back on. And then we shut our DMW back off, and we stop leveling. For 4 chapters. Which is bad. It's very slow. The run is completable at level 6, at starting level. It's actually not that bad of a run, surprisingly. We have enough hijinks with the materia that we can get our stats to a decent level. But it does become even more fraught with death and being extra special glass cannon. So here we are taking this nice girl that we kind of crashed through their roof out on the city, such as it is, at her request, by the way. She's showing us around town. We're kind of under the crust of Midgard. So, yeah, it's cute. It's fun. We just got our wallet stolen. That happened. And now we are on the hunt for the miscreant that stole our wallet. And each one of these cutscenes is these nice folk, including Blonde Bob Ross there, to basically tell us, nope, never heard of theft in the area, no idea what you're talking about, as the kid basically walks around behind us in those cutscenes. It's very fun. So we figured out who it is. And apparently the whole rigmarole is that he lost his wallet, so he stole our wallet. And then there's some, like, sad story behind it. And I'm guessing that it's probably, like, his sick mother or his sick sister. I have forgotten. It's been so long since I've done this casually. I'm sure there is a worthy cause for the small child to be a thief. But it turns out these worms stole it, I think. And now we got it back. And everything's good. Except for this minor hiccup where this guy over here now thinks that Aerith and I are dating. Cool. So that's a misunderstanding we'll have to clear up later. It's fine. We're just gonna go on a quick date. No big deal. It's fine. Definitely not dating, I think. But now we're gonna wander our way back to headquarters because we have dallied here long enough. So as I'm running to and fro, if you got another message, great time.
All right. Well, first off, I would like to inform everybody that we do have another bid war live for Skater Gator 3D. It can bid on what kind of skin is going to be used, and of course, we do have our current bid war for Heavensward versus Stormblood. Stormblood currently in the lead, and of course, we are just under $100 away from our bonus game of Viewfinder. And as Sonic Mega in chat says, what did they do to Midgard during Final Fantasy VII? Wallet.
Activating combat mode.
Oh my. Way out of summer. Alright, cool. This would be exciting. Free AP. Love that. Alright. We got ambushed on our way back to Shinra headquarters. Turns out it was still being kind of attacked.
Activating combat mode.
We're going to deal with that now.
And I would.
Let me give you a hand.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did get our host, unfortunately, bopped by the technology gods. So I'll talk about this mad scientist instead. This one might be more familiar to the VII fans. He looks pretty good in the updated graphics, I must say.
You see.
Also, the voice actor nailed the just eerily creepy. It was great. Big fan.
I do have an announcement.
Activating
Sarth
combat mode.
has a donation with $89. They say incentive resolved, which means we have met our bonus game incentive for Viewfinder. So we'll be playing that right after Final Fantasy XIV.
Nice.
So thank you very much, Sarth. We've got more Fastest Furs coming your way.
Conflict resolved.
Thanks everybody for getting the incentives met. It's not only fun to get to see more content for Fastest Furs, and good to continue to raise money for Trans Lifeline. Thank you.
Exactly. More games, more chances to donate to charity.
So we fought Bahamut again. It was much easier than the first time. I much prefer the second fight to the first. But yeah, we basically are given a pretty forced interlude here before our next mission. It's kind of intended, gameplay-wise, to just say, hey, you've been doing a bunch of story. Maybe you should go check out these side missions. Let us introduce more minigames, up to and including squats. Great minigame. Iconic for Crisis Core. Big fan. However, we gotta go fast. So, no squats. No fancy flower carts.
Oh. Zach
Yeah.
skipping leg day?
Zach is skipping leg day. Yeah, it's unfortunate because, like, if you actually are watching cutscenes for this, anytime Zach is bored in a cutscene, he's just doing squats. It's all he's doing. He's just sitting there squatting away. But we're speedrunners, so we don't get to have nice interludes to go do squats and do side missions and get more materia and play around with the melding system. No, we get to go be in horrific helicopter accidents. Like this one. It's fine, though. We're gonna be able to wander through here, hopefully not get any encounters, and meet everybody's favorite spiky-haired blonde. Twink? There he is. So, Cloud's our buddy now. Anybody that ends up in the DMW, Zach has feelings for. That is the point of the DMW. And I will spin crazy fan theories for you later. It will be fun. Just, again, most of the lore I know is what little I see of dialogue and cutscenes from the speedrun. So we'll get back to Gongaga later. Don't you worry. It's scripted in. I got you. But right now we got to focus because we got the Metal Gear Solid portion of the run. This is a stealth section. You will notice by how stealthy I am. Look at me, stealth. Just stealthing. Stealthing so hard right now. Yep. That is the stealth section. We have successfully infiltrated the base with no guard alerts. Nailed it.
It does look a little bit like Shadow Moses.
Little bit, little bit. All right. I need to do some shopping. So I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff first. Not those. Oh, weird. I feel like I have an extra of those for some reason. Cool. Where am I? I am... Oh, I should do that. I'm gonna buy somas. We're gonna buy pot. I'm short money. Interesting. We will sell these then. And then buy these. Cool. So we are going to put together a little dispel deal. And this is to help relieve our AP problem. And we have an AP problem. High jump takes up a lot of AP. Make Fireblade. And we are going to... That's it. Just equip Dispel. Cool.
Activating combat mode.
Bring it on.
So Dispel is used once. It's a very important use. And we're going to see it soon. But right now we have to fight yet another Genesis. And up. 1, 2, and up. Can't tell. There's a little bit of a script to this. Ow. All right. Little scary. Little scary.
Conflict resolved.
That's fine. Phew. So now we have feelings for Genesis. But Genesis is special, and anytime we would land on somebody else, Genesis just kind of inserts himself into our feelings. It's very rude. And we are actually okay with Genesis DMW. It is a multi-hit, but it's not as good as NGL or Sephiroth. So if we see it, we see it. It does have a higher chance in the next couple fights, but it's fine. It's okay, I guess. NGL is where our heart is. Just so we're clear.
Activating combat mode.
So this Griffin is evil and bad, and I hate it, and it hurts. That is all you need to know. Hey look, Dispel leveled up. That's not helpful. That's not a helpful material leveling. We want to see high jumps. We want to see Fire Blades. Those would both be at least helpful. High jump is the big one. High jump's the really big one. I am like 2 attack behind right now, just because I'm 2 levels behind. It happens. It's fine. But would really love to get that attack up. And high jump leveling would solve that. All right, another big angry boss. I did mention a while ago that Angeal was going to look a little different. There's his magical girl transformation scene, and ta-da, Angeal. That's the wrong spell.
All right, I do have a couple donations if you have time to read them.
Yeah.
All right. First up, and our Heaven Sword versus Stormblood Bid War is heating up, and I am loving it. First up, we have a $20 donation from Anonymous, who says, "Hear, feel, but also fish." Totally vibe with that. Thank you for your donation. We also have a $15 donation from Oasis. It says, "A smile better suits a hero." That's true. All smiles here at Fastest First. Thank you for your donation. And we have Kyotsu,
Activating combat
who
mode.
donates $10 and says, donating for Heaven Sword because a smile better suits a hero. Yeah, like I said, we're all smiles here. And I'm going to check on how that bid war is heating up because, again, a lot has shifted. And Heaven Sword in the lead with $50. So, yeah, that definitely swayed things quite a bit.
Conflict resolved.
Nice, nice. So in this edition of the award-winning Final Fantasy MMORPG that you can play free up to level 70 or higher, you can go to 99 in this one.
Activating combat mode.
We just had our Anime Beach episode because we just had something tragic happen,
Conflict resolved.
and like every good anime, we go to the beach. So the entrepreneuring modding community did what was right, and they made it so that we can, if we wanted, run around as Zack in his swim trunks wielding an umbrella for the entire game. Highly recommend. Not allowed for the speedrun, unfortunately.
Activating combat mode.
Any hoodles. We also had a time skip because again, this is a good anime. So we grew our hair out. You can see it's just a hair longer there. And we now have maybe a sword people will recognize. I don't know. This giant unwieldy hunk of steel with a pair of slots for something undetermined that we'll figure out later.
Activating combat mode.
Thank you, Neo, for the raid.
Welcome in, Raiders.
Conflict resolved.
Just playing a little Final Fantasy. Gonna have a follow-up and play a little more Final Fantasy after this. There is a bid war if you want to weigh in your opinion of what is it, Heaven's Ward or
Yeah, Heaven's Sword
Stormblood?
versus Stormblood, yes.
Yes.
Heaven's Sword does have a very definitive lead.
So if you have opinions about which expansion has better dungeons, make sure you express that with money.
Conflict resolved.
And then comments. You know, comments are welcome too. In the meantime, I'm just going to kill a pile of Genesis clones, making use of this shiny new Buster Sword that I have. It has introduced a new mechanic. So you'll see me going into a stance. You'll hear Zack say something. I don't remember what it is. This does two ridiculously powerful things. One, it doubles my damage. So I go into the stance, whatever attack I deal next deals double damage. Broken. It's great.
Activating combat mode.
The other thing it does is that I take up to 80% reduced damage. That's bad timing. Okay, we made it. That'll be fine. This is one of the harder bosses to get fast, because being in that back arc really matters. And we got enough for one. Finish on this. Okay. Alright.
Conflict resolved.
Fun. Big angry tank done. Now we have almost a minute and a half of just vamp time. So if you've got a big long plug, take it away.
Big long quick. Well, of course. I mean, this is Fast as Furs. We're raising money for Trans Lifeline. I got to make sure that, you know, we have that the beautiful people sending in their donations get higher priority. But, you know, we do have a couple incentives to go towards, again, like we just mentioned, Heaven's Sword versus Stormblood bid war. And also for Skater Gator 3D, which will be ran just a little bit after midnight. You can choose the skin characters use. And I figured just give a bit of upcoming news about the upcoming week. November 13th to 19th is Transgender Awareness Week. Oh, excuse me. Yes. November 13th to 19th is Transgender Awareness Week, and November 20th marks the annual Transgender Day of Remembrance. We are proud to be putting on this event as a kickoff to Transgender Awareness Week in the hopes of raising awareness of the issues facing transgender and gender non-conforming people everywhere. Thank you for joining us this weekend, and we encourage you to support Trans Lifeline and their life-saving work.
Yeah,
And of
everybody
course-
who's coming out, thank you so much.
Yeah. And for a little more incentive, for the first time ever, we're offering a grand prize to donors during Fall Fest 2023. Anyone who donates $50 or more over the course of the marathon will be eligible to win a Nintendo Switch OLED console and a copy of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This prize bundle was funded through direct contributions of members of the Team Fastest Furs leadership team. Use the command !PRIZES in the chat for more details on all of our amazing prizes, and remember, trans rights are human rights.
Activating combat.
Absolutely. So, more or less what we just did was stare at a wall while we wait for the entire sector that we were supposed to protect to die. It's normal and fine and expected and all those fun things. So,
Good luck.
take a quick heal from our good pal, but not girlfriend, Aerith. And we're just gonna kill this prototype scorpion part 5 or whatever we're on now. We kill a lot of scorpions in this run. But yeah, we're back in action after 2 years. We've got a little reconnecting to do. So we're gonna do just that, and we're gonna head in and go see our good pal Aerith. We spent part of our 2 years with our good pal Cisne there. We do skip over all of the cutscenes of Cisne in beach mode, which unfortunate, but. So there was Aerith. We're gonna go do something for Aerith, since it's been years and we've been a bad friend and been away. And... Ooh,
Conflict resolved.
ooh, that's very nice. High jump being level 4 is excellent. I don't have to worry about my strength so much anymore. But Aerith has this desire to go sell flowers, I think, but doesn't have anything to carry those flowers in. We're a handyman, right? We're a genetically modified soldier. We can do whatever we want, right? So we're gonna build a cart, and the best way to build cart is to pick random materials up from the ground and name potentially important bars like Seventh Heaven in exchange for random lumber on the ground. And we're just gonna make the best flower cart ever. You'll get to see it. There's a freeze frame in the cutscene that I skip. You'll get to see how happy Aerith is with this flower cart. She's enthused. So, we're gonna steal a worn tire from this guy, because that, whatever that is, I hate to call it a vehicle because it looks more like a paperweight, just a large, unwieldy one. But we take a tire from there, old lumber, in exchange for naming a bar, and I don't even know what the first one is anymore. It's something. It's a thing that goes into making a flower cart. Maybe it was the handles. I don't know. But all we need now are some blueprints, because we follow instructions here. We're Zach, and if you watch a lot of the cutscenes, Zach doesn't have a ton of thoughts. He's lovable. He's wonderful. We love him. He's just trying to help. There's not a lot of creativity in this brain. So we find some plans, and that's good. So now we know how to build a flower cart,
Welcome back. Oh,
and now we build it.
You need the flower part, and you need the cart part.
wow.
Yeah. And like Eris just said, wow, it's so impressive. Look at the face of joy. We did good. We nailed it.
Is a good himbo. I agree, Moonblaze Wolf.
Yep. Yep. We love Zach.
I
'Cause-
do have a donation here from Nowak for $15, who says, yes, ever do our aching souls march heavensward, as they've done for so long. Another contribution in the Heavensward versus Stormblood race. It is still going on. And of course, Nowak, thank you so much for your donation.
Much appreciated. So yeah, we're doing our favorite thing, which is to run back and forth from Shinra headquarters to this church. We'll do it at least once more, I'm sure. Maybe, possibly. Where am I? I don't even know what chapter I'm in anymore.
I just need to know how close you are to the end.
We're getting there. We're
Yeah.
getting there. Hey, look, a flower cart. Goodbye. Oh, we're making farewells. All right, we're probably not going to be back. You know, it happens. However, we do get to go into Plot City. Oops. We don't need to save. Who are we kidding? We're speedrunners. Good at the game. Haha. So, welcome to Plot City. Everybody's here. We've got long white-haired man. We've got apparently everybody's favorite himbo. We've got a spunky girl in a cowboy hat. We'll see in a second. There she is. So yeah, everybody's here. The whole crew. It's great. It does mean that there are more cutscenes per capita than any other point in the run. So this is where you come to learn the slightly odd timings of Crisis Core speedrun menu skips. Yeah. So I said that there was a mechanic earlier where if I ran against the wall, I could avoid most encounters. Nibelheim here is where that falls apart. I can run against these walls as much as I want. I'm very, very likely going to get 3 encounters on my way up and on my way down. This is the down portion, by the way. So we're just going to smash my face against the wall, and we're aiming for 3 encounters. We might get more, we might get less. If we get less, that's good. If we get more, that's bad. You know how it goes.
Activating combat mode.
How about this?
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah, damage caps. We're hitting damage cap at, I think we're level 15? It just tells you how strong the materia system is in this game. Melding is your friend. If you're looking to max out your stats, it is through melding. Cap, by the way, is 255. There is a super boss in the game that is ridiculous. Can recommend. If only for its ridiculousness. Like, it's almost as hard as Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1. Almost. So, the Shinra soldier that got helped there may or may not have been Cloud. We don't know. Doesn't take his helmet off. A little bit of retconning from the OGs. You know, the expanded Final Fantasy VII multiverse that continues to exist through so many games. But here I get to count objects. That is a 3. This is a, wait for it. Nope. Wait for it. That is a 1. Weird. That doesn't happen very often. And then one last one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, we didn't look at one of the rooms. It could be 4, 5, or 6. Pumpkins, apples, and chairs. Books, pumpkins, apples, chairs. Books, pumpkins, apples, chairs. There we go. As long as I get it right, the last try there, we're in good shape. Okay. Things and stuff. So we're gonna put jump here, and we're gonna put salt. Where is it? Where are you? Vital slash. Thank you. Okay. So we unlock that. We get a maxed out Vital Slash, which is just an increased power attack. But the important thing is that it comes with a plus 15 attack on it. So we just swapped out a plus 2 attack for a plus 15 attack. That seems good. There's an important character in that room over there. Spoilers. Is that a spoiler anymore? Game's 30 years old. But, yeah. Important plot things are happening. I don't know. There's a library in a mansion. Now everything's on fire. That seems bad. He stands menacingly in front of flames. Yeah. I don't know. I just count it by the number of cutscenes I have to skip. And that was 3. And there's going to be, I think, 17 cutscenes to skip coming up. It's either 17 or 18. It's a lot. It's a lot of cutscenes. There's a lot of plot happening.
Activating combat mode.
We don't like these deadly death claws. They can cast stop with their attacks, and that hurts. Because again, we don't have spare health. We're level 17 or 16 or whatever we are, and whatever leveling health we have, that's all we've got. So we are in the second to last chapter of the game. Things hurt, as will be demonstrated by an angry man with a very large sword. Alright. Hi, Sephi. Cutscenes. They're important to the story. We don't care.
Activating combat
Bye
mode.
now. Take that. Here we go. Hi. Hands up. Take that. How about this?
Alright. Oh, we actually get a Sephi limit break, which is actually kind of funny. Because he's going to help himself kill himself faster.
Bye now.
And bonk.
Conflict resolved.
Part 1 done. More cutscenes. Gotta really set up this like Jedi mind battle on the bridge over a thing that doesn't make any physical sense.
Here we go. Taking you down a peg. Take that. This'll do.
But this one's the easy one. You just go up and down 4 times.
Resolved.
Easy peasy. Alright, more cutscenes. Gotta have cinematic breakaways, set up plot for future games, ensure future protagonists are just fine. Yeah,
Sephiroth just wants his mom.
yeah, totally. That's what the plot of Advent Children was about, right?
Wow.
Just trying to do a little psychic damage before I go.
The only Final Fantasy game I played to completion was 6.
All right, all right. So yeah, Cloud got sick. I don't even know how Cloud makes it into that room anymore, because Cloud should have been on a bed in the hotel. As far as I know the lore anymore. But Cloud ends up there and then just gets ragdolled across the top and is now Mako sick, I'm told. So he is everybody's favorite doll, I think. Maybe doll's too strong of a term. We're gonna carry Cloud around a lot. For a while.
Activating combat mode.
And that's fine. We're Zack. Just one extra body to lug around. It's fine.
Activating combat mode.
Alright, I actually have to kill you. Don't. Goodbye.
Got him.
Conflict resolved.
Yeah. Okay. So we're trying to get out of here. If we remember the cutscenes correctly, Nibelheim just burned, and is probably being invaded by Shinra soldiers in order to contain the narrative that Nibelheim burned, or something. We are Zack Fair, a hero, self-admitted, and we have in our arms a
Activating combat
small blonde boy who
Later.
is sick and can't function, but isn't dead yet. He's not dead yet.
Taking you.
So what do? We turn on Shinra
conflict resolved.
and save this kid.
Activating combat mode.
Again, very hazy on the lore.
Heads up. Got him.
Go Geo thing.
Brace yourself.
Go up and down a lot.
We go up and down a lot. Dragoons are best class. This is why.
Conflict resolved.
The end.
I say that, and I don't even play a Dragoon in the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV.
Speaking of which, Heaven's Sword is still in the lead. It's still in a very comfortable lead for that. So if you're on Team Stormblood, better go over there and get your donations in now. And also, we do have another bid war going on for Skater Gator 3D. It is a 5-way tie for first place, depending on what skin you want to use for your little gator buddy that you can skate as in 3D.
This may.
I mean, it's very important choice.
Activating
There-
combat mode.
Yes, it is such an important choice that there is a 5-way tie for it.
So, we defeat a bunch of people.
Okay. We're leaving.
We decide it's too dangerous to go out in daylight.
Come on.
Go inside, put Cloud in new clothes. I don't know if it's a disguise or what it is, but we put Cloud in new clothes, and then try and escape at night. And it turns out all they do is introduce like a Rainbow Six or a Sniper Elite situation, where I'm supposed to be like dealing with these robots. And then depending how well I deal with these robots, I get points, and then my points upgrade my gun, and then like it's another minigame. As you can tell, we are interacting a lot with it, as is right and proper. But it is at this point that we get to introduce our next iteration of Genesis clone. And those are the G Eliminators. There's going to be a fight very, very soon, as soon as I get through a couple cutscenes. God. These things are evil. These things are really, really evil. They hurt. They're unpredictable. A lot of their moves look similar. And it makes it very difficult to read and react to what's happening. So, wish me luck.
Taking you down a peg. This'll do. Right now.
Just good lucks in the chat.
Taking you down a bit. Take that. Here we go. Heads up.
Conflict
Ah,
resolved.
I know it looked like all I did was go up and down a lot, but there's actually small hesitations in between each of those. Make sure I know what's going on. Here is the point where I get to introduce Gangaga. Probably one of the greatest named cities in the history of video games. But for me, Gangaga.
They broke my bracket on the NCAA tournament earlier this year.
Well, you get to try again next year. That's fine. Never bet against Gangaga in the opening round.
Is it really?
Here we just find a shop and a chest. Don't ask questions. It's a shop in a chest. That is all further we need to understand that. We're going to buy 2 things out of there. I do have my potions. Good. And this is my last big menu. So I'm going to make sure I don't mess it up too badly. Need jump. Lucky stars. And then barrier here. This. We're finally gonna get some health, is what we're headed to here. Which is quite nice. Can recommend. Barrier, other barrier, hop.
Well, while you do the melding, I do have a couple donations to read. And we have broken the tie for our Gator skin bid war. First up, JD Puppy with $5 saying, is it $5 Gator train time? Bring on the chunk. Chunky boy, chunky boy, chunky boy. Thank you for your donation. And looks like, we have another one for Chunky Boy from Seb Yodi, who's donating $10. Chunky Boy sounds Yodi appropriate. Oh, it is very Yodi appropriate. Much Yodi Pro, as they like to say in the biz.
Prove your.
High jump master.
Conflict
Cool.
resolved.
We will have no problem continuing to do max damage. Love that. So we got a little bit of an unfortunate pattern there. It is 1 in 10, I don't know the actual ratios, that our Genesis clone will get out of range of our high jump. So normally we can do that in 3 high jumps and it's done, but oh well. Oh well. We are entering into kind of the end game here.
Activating combat mode.
Rude. Rude, rude, rude. Yeah. So we've got one last fight with our crazy scientist in a lab coat. You'll notice a distinct physical difference from him,
Activating
and that
combat
is a
mode.
wing. Don't ask where he got it. It's not important.
Heads up. Taking you down a bit.
Probably science stuff.
It can't possibly mean anything. 1 wings? No.
Bye now. Take that.
But
Conflict resolved.
he's done now, which is great. I think the color of the wing might mean something too. I don't know. There's a different white-haired guy with a white wing. He's probably important.
It's also science, you know?
It's so science, right? Like, I can't imagine having a white wing with a white lab coat. The color clashing is... No. No. Don't do it.
It's a fashion faux pas of the highest order.
Exactly.
All right. I do have a very big donation to read off.
Absolutely. Take it away.
Bursic with $75, who says, speaking of himbos, what about everybody's favorite big blonde himbo from Stormblood? Here's to seeing Xenos testing our reflexes. Thank you for that big, lovely donation. And I think with that,
Activating combat mode.
Stormblood's taking the lead in the Final Fantasy Online 14 bid war.
That's exciting. Xenos is wonderful. What a villain. Yeah, we're in the final dungeon. It has a stellar soundtrack. It also has a dungeon component that, even in my casual playthrough, I did not find. It is here, I do promise you. There is a dungeon to be found in this area. I'm picking up materia instead, and we're gonna go put those in a pedestal. I don't know who made this. I don't know what alien civilization left this behind. But apparently we've got like a whole research center here. We've got pedestals that unlock big like steel doors. I don't know. Even in my casual playthrough, I didn't understand what was happening. I knew why we entered the caves. I don't know what's happening in the caves at all. But it's the final 3 boss fights. Again, it's a Final Fantasy game. We gotta have like a multi-tier boss. This is not technically part of that multi-tier. This is just another G Eliminator. But this one, or sorry, the G Regicide.
How about this? Here we
Yeah.
go. Taking you down a peg.
So remember earlier when I was pausing to wait for things?
How about this?
This one's just like that.
Bye now.
Conflict resolved.
Ooh. Okay. That was getting spicy. It can do 2 different moves that just one-shot me.
Up ahead.
Literally, I just die. And I didn't see them, and that was very nice. But now we get to enter our 2-stage boss fight.
My soul.
This one can go horribly wrong. This is one of those fights that we practice to try to become more consistent with,
Combat mode.
and don't always succeed. In time, yes. Barely. Just top up.
Here we go.
So our goal here is to find the critical spot, which I did,
Bye now.
and to not die.
Down a peg.
And we're hoping to just sit here and spin until everything goes away. Unfortunately, I got Angeal early, and now I procced him. So, now that crit spot has moved, and may or may not come back, which is unfortunate, but that's where we're at.
This'll do.
We did get a multi-hit out of it, so it means our fight is a little safer.
This'll do. Here we go.
I appreciate
Bye now. Bringing out the big guns.
the extra HP and MP. So the D&W here is both helpful and harmful. Because my crit spot has moved and I don't have access to it, my fight is now slower. However, every time one does show up,
Heads up.
I do get a little bump in my AP and MP. So
Taking you down.
it's fine. We found it again. As long as I don't take an L here to
Here we go.
the ads, this should be a nice turnaround.
Damn that Highlander.
Nice. It was a nice turnaround. We are on to the final fight.
Activating combat mode.
So, this is Genesis, the actual one, not a clone. And we are going to also try to read his moves and not die. We may have given ourselves a pile of health. We'll just use him against himself. Perfect. And time will be coming up when I kill him.
This'll do. Here we go. This'll do.
Which should be shortly. One more. Oh, cutscene. And time.
Congratulations.
Conflict resolved.
We made it. Little shaky in spots, but we did it. Oh, this is Crisis Core. There's story. There's lots of story. As per usual, I'm a speedrunner, and I don't know the story, and I explained it poorly. So, the gist of it, to recap, is Zach has feelings. Those feelings influence the game, and you go on a lot of missions and help a bunch of people and be a hero. Crisis Core. I am Seriously Surly. You can find me on Twitch, seriously_Surly. Otherwise, I am behind the scenes in a pile of marathons, and I do as much volunteering as I possibly can to go help wonderful causes like Trans Lifeline. So thank you for having me. Thank you to all the event staff and runners and fans and donators. Seriously, you're doing great. It's wonderful. Much appreciated. That's it for me. Have a good one, everybody. Have a great rest of the marathon. Enjoy Final Fantasy XIV, the critically acclaimed MMORPG, free for trial.
And thank you for that wonderful run.